Hello everyone, it's Funbot28 here and I'm back with another ZU video. This time we're doing a little bit of a recap. We called it the ZU Rewind of 2018, where we're just going to discuss like major things that happened in the ZU metagame overall this past year. And I have a few guests with me if they would like to introduce themselves.
Funbot smells. I am Tack, newest driver. Everyone hate. I don't know how I got anything I've gotten.
I mean,
I'm a terrible user.
I mean, you play PO, so it's like ZU 2.0 type of thing, so I guess that's why.
And I'm Xayah. I am oldest driver, I think. I am former tier leader and now council member.
Alright, so like a lot of things happened this year for ZU, probably like the biggest year yet, even though the metagame is still kind of young, but a lot of progress has happened, and I guess we could start things off especially in January, where we got our private room on Pokemon Showdown, and I think that was like a big catalyst for like especially getting new members into the metagame. We had like this one place, not only on the Discord, but like on the main site for Smogon to kind of like
the biggest thing I think what that did was that it got us noticed by the Immortal, who like we didn't, no one knew we existed before that, right? It was Kalawaki got us a room, and that was amazing, right? I'm really grateful.
As someone who joined up this year, I knew FU existed in the previous gen, and that's about it.
Yeah. Exactly, that was basically everyone. I mean, I didn't even know FU existed in the last gen, personally. I joined September last year, and then I worked hard to get it where it is, but getting their private room was massive, because, yes, few new people joined, but people knew we existed because we were on the background. We've been in news for a while with our private room, and it was just really, really exciting.
Because I think the Discord was up before then, right? I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, but
we didn't. Discord's been up for years.
Yeah, that's it. So, but the activity kind of like skyrocketed after we got the room on Showdown. Yeah. And I think
definitely that was one of the biggest things this year. I mean, there's a lot of massive things that happened this year. It's been an insane growth, really fast. But yeah, that was really important.
And I guess another thing that we could talk about after getting the room was, I think in February, where the thread on the other metagames forum was posted.
Yeah, late February. That was like February 28th. It was one of the last days of February. But yeah, we got the thread on Smogon that we still use.
Because previously, before then, we were using this whole entire other website where we were just hosting kind of like the ZU forums. Let me just say there wasn't a lot of activity on that website.
And no one, I've used that site since, and it is still terrible.
I hate it.
I never want to use it ever again if I can avoid it.
5 months since I joined ZU until we got our threads, the only people that posted on that forum were me and the tier leaders.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's it.
Yeah, that sounds about right with those horrible forums. You can't even, like, put any images in there or
It's just a UI,
so you go to
terrible.
Like, it's ridiculously terrible.
Yeah, it was bad. Anyway, we got into this one, and that's... I want to argue that is the most important thing that happened to us at all.
That kind of really...
Despite everything that happened.
It was the catalyst for everything that happened since.
Yeah.
Basically, we got recognition. We were official in a way. Obviously, we weren't an official tier. We weren't on other meta, but that was more than we had ever dreamed of, because there was this rule, which basically said you cannot have a usage-based tier lower than PU.
Even class as yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So we were screwed, right? We were never going to get on there. We had no idea how we were ever going to get on this Smogon, but we just wanted to play our tier. And then we were contacted and basically said, when are you going to apply? We have expected you for a long time. And we were like, what the hell? What?
And this, I think, yeah, and like you said, I think it was with a private room where the Immortal or whatever, the other metagame site staff kind of just saw, like, you know, we're actually a thing and there is a community behind this metagame, whatever. And I think even before being posted onto the other metagame subforum, it was kind of, we were kind of in limbo, like, were we classified as another metagame? Like, you know, what was it exactly? Even though we all hope and dream that we become official one day, I think we're in a good spot right now, especially with the current activity in the thread and everything that's going on. being one of the most active OMs, and we'll talk about that later, how it helped us overall. But I think, yeah, the posting of the thread in general helped promote even discussion, because even before then, there was discussion going on the Discord. There was a bit going on in the private room, but having stuff that was kind of like documented, right? You know, on the forums, you know, when you post a post, it's there, you know, for people to observe. And when you're on other IRL chats, it's kind of hard to see if you miss the discussion, it's gone afterwards the next day or whatever. So having that place where people could just leave their thoughts on the metagame or whatever, and we kind of had resources going up simultaneously, and I think it helped for new players to come and see, like, to come and learn the tier type of thing.
Yeah, you just got a massive jump start because the resource we had beforehand, but yeah, it was such an incredible moment, and we basically immediately had a suspect on Stoutland in there, but I guess we'll talk about metagame development.
Getting X for that. That was fun. I was one of the 2 people who voted ban.
We'll talk about metagame development for the most part, I think, later.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's
we'll cover
as far as other things that happen. I mean, the thread is so important. It's in the end, a metagame is going to rely on its thread being active and having solid resources everywhere to exist at all, and we didn't have that at all. And
it didn't exist until a month after I joined or something. I don't remember the exact dates for any of the stuff. I just remember hearing about the room, joining, making some teams, playing for shits and giggles, randomly getting voice after just making fun of people who were saying that insert terrible Pokemon here, like Mothim was unironically good.
That happens a lot.
Like, I don't know who nommed me. They were insane.
I can look it up for you if you want, but basically...
I already tried. I couldn't find it, unless it was hidden somewhere else.
Probably
was. Anyway, yeah, pretty much our room was growing very quickly. It started growing even quickly in later on in July, but I guess we'll get to that. First, what happened was in May, when we got Other Meta of the Month. It was the first month we were eligible for it at all.
After a while, yeah.
And we won by like 100 votes. It was a landslide.
It was very much a landslide.
Okay, we got 122 votes. I'm being whispered.
Yeah, but even the activity that ensued with the other metagame of the month, I think it was like the highest activity rates like over this whole year until July, where the other metagame ladder of the month ladder had that much activity. It was with us, and I think that kind of helped us show, you know, how active we are as a community, and you know.
And I mean, it makes sense in a way because obviously people who come from other tiers have an easier time picking up ZU than they do, for example, almost any ability or balanced attack mons or sketch mons or whatever, because it's still the same mechanics.
You don't get to learn any like new fundamental stuff or whatever.
And I talked to a lot of PU players, and they kind of mentioned to me, especially in the July meta, where they say Sun and Moon's view is like ORSPU, ORSPU.
That was a common thing. It's not a thing anymore.
No,
thank God.
But in that specific meta, yeah.
People still say it is ORSPU though. Like I'll argue against it forever because we have Kamala and we have Silvally, which are massive.
Like massive threats, yeah, but
it's still similar, right? That
makes similarities, but the differences far outweigh them.
Yeah.
But I think people used to say it back then was...
Even if the mons are similar, they run almost entirely different sets for the most part.
Yeah.
Like Swanna, the best set is probably physical right now. Meanwhile, in ORSPU, it was special.
I think special Swanna is better, but it's Z-Rain Dance, and Z-Rain Dance didn't exist in Gen 6. So.
Yeah, Z-Rain Dance is probably the only good special Swanna set.
Flying Neem set is good too, but whatever, it doesn't really matter.
I prefer Brave Bird, man. It's a better stab move.
I think they're both good, but yeah. Anyway.
They're both good, but like, I think... Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, but
this isn't what I'm here for.
No, I understand what you're saying, because I think a lot of people saw, especially at that specific moment, they saw like, oh, Rotom Frost and Stoutland are like the best mons, so like they automatically gravitate towards comparing it to ORSPU, and I think
Stoutland was gone by then. Stoutland was
yeah,
already
you're
gone
right.
because
Okay,
it risen in April.
Okay, yeah, it's true.
But yeah, basically people were just saying it was ORSPU, and honestly, I felt like that's fine by me. If all of the people who like ORSPU can play Xayah.
Exactly, and I think that's why we had so much activity, you know, and
that did kind of happen. I mean, like, look at Raw Melon, for example.
Yeah, was he? I don't know the ORSPU.
He was an ORS guy. LPY was an ORS guy.
Raw Melon 2 used to play a lot.
I don't know the other ones off the top of my head. I wasn't playing them. I'm just regurgitating what I heard from LPY because we're friends.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
And when did I don't know if you mentioned already, but we also had the Musharna suspect. I think it played.
No, that was in April. I think we'll come back to suspects and the metas in general,
that's true.
After we go through what happened for our tier.
Yeah. But besides that, okay, so then after July, I think that's it.
July was a really important time too.
Yeah,
that's
July had our room become public.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I remember that.
I remember I was on vacation and I was gonna have access to Wi-Fi throughout the entire vacation except for like 1 day. And
the one day was when it happened?
Yes, that one day was when
that must have made your vacation.
I was so disappointed, but oh my god, I was so excited because we've been talking about it for a while, right? How we were gonna try to go public. And it came out of nowhere for 5gen and me, and Diagnostic as well would become TL by then. We didn't know. Kanalaki had done it on his own. We had no idea what was going on, and then it suddenly happened, and we were like, what the hell? Where did this come from?
Kala is our hero.
Yeah.
Kala is our hero.
He kind of represents us in terms of SS, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Without Kala, we would have gone nowhere.
But it was even funny, because when our room became public, I remember looking at the side, you know, where you could see the rooms have the most activity. We were kind of up there, and I think some moments we were over PU, over like NU and stuff like that.
We were over a lot of...
We were top 5 for a while.
Yeah, that's
for
it.
A few days we were top 5.
So just imagine,
now
like...
It's not so much like that, but like...
But in the prime, like...
stuff, we have 75 people. We have 75 people. PU has like 130.
And we had a lot of active room tours and everything, and it was... You know...
We're still like top 20,
I think.
We're still pretty high, but like we're not ridiculously top 5 or anything like we were when the room got released.
We're bigger than LC.
But it's kind of funny when you imagine, like...
not hard.
But still, like, when other metagame is higher than, like, official tiers, I think comes to show, at least, it shows something.
I
think we are the only other meta with a public room.
Besides, well...
no, 1v1 has one.
1v1 and Monotype before it became official, too, had it.
I think Monotype has one.
But that's considered, but Monotype's considered official now.
Yeah, Monotype is official.
Cap has one.
Cap isn't an other meta, though. I think it's an entirely different
There's
thing.
Also Anything Goes, too, has one.
Yeah, Anything Goes in 1v1 and the other ones.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah. But still, we had a lot of activity.
We're the biggest one of the 3, anyway.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
We're smaller than 1v1 by 6 users right now, but yeah.
Still. So...
it's not a big difference.
No.
So, July happened, we had shifts, we had a metagame that became very annoying. Very
to say the least. I was so sad when Torterra left.
That meta with a rusty stick.
No one liked that meta, so that was bad. But
and that's, I think, it led into our next suspect, right? Which was a bit controversial.
It was Stoutland again. Which then it got banned, but again, we'll come back to the meta, I think.
No, but before Stoutland, there was the Road and Frost suspect, no? You forgot to mention.
Yeah, but that was before the shifts happened,
and
that meta completely sucked.
Yeah.
But
it was so bad.
Yeah.
It was basically like the worst case scenario for what could have happened with shifts. It was awful.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. But we'll talk about that. The next big thing that happened for us was in October. We didn't even talk about our rotational ladder.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, in September we got it.
That's not important. That's not important at all.
That was massive too. When in July, like a week before July started, it was technically in June, but in July the ladder, we got a rotational ladder, which meant that every other month we were gonna have a ladder up for ZU, and that was also
rotating with stab mods, yeah.
Rotating with stab mods, and then eventually in October, we were given a permanent ladder, which
because we were like 200% more active than the stab mods ladder.
We were consistently 4 times as many battles as stab mods.
Imagine. And was this asked for, or was it just given to us? I forget. Like to become...
It was given to us. This came out of nowhere. I did not know it was happening.
Wow.
Or well, I didn't know it was happening, but I knew like 2 days before it was going to happen.
And to this day, I've still played like 20 games on every single ladder because... Ugh.
I mean, I don't ladder much either, but it's really good to have, if only because people are going to go into the format thing and see what is ZU, and then come to the room and ask
exactly
what ZU is.
Yeah.
It's just more promotion and exposure.
Yeah. Even if that is the only thing I did, which is not, because it's also a way for me to actually play. Even if that were the only thing, we'd be in a great spot. But this is already... It's so good.
And also it helps with suspect tests, right? Obviously to have something, instead of just giving like room tours and whatever.
Suspect tests too.
Yeah,
it's really good. Suspect test is really good, especially it being a perma ladder is good. We don't have to plan our suspects depending on months.
Yeah, and I think that's what really hampered it before, where especially I remember with the Stoutland suspect, where things I felt were kind of rushed, and obviously it's not anyone's fault when we have just a month for the.
We didn't have a choice.
Yeah,
we didn't have a choice but to rush it.
So,
free suspect tours. That's the only way I'll ever willingly get Rex.
Yeah, that's it.
But as for after that, well, in November I left, but I don't know if we want to talk about that anymore.
No.
I know that was not OTL. And then 2 days ago now, I think, the 2019 OM circuit was released, and ZU is going to be a big part of it.
Big in it.
So we're ribbon official.
Our open is part of it. Our seasonals are part of it.
Yeah. And that's...
Speaking of, what's going to happen to the previous few seasonals? Are we still gonna have
We're still figuring it out.
Thing?
Just shut up. We're still figuring it out. We don't know yet.
I want to know, Xayah.
We don't know either. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway, we are probably gonna be in OMPL. We might be in OM World Cup. I expect to be.
Yeah, probably. Because previously, before then, we were only part of Snake because we were considered like not an official other metagame type of thing.
And we are going to be part of the championship playoffs.
No,
basically, what it means is that if you win the OM championship, the entire thing, you get a ribbon, which is sort of a trophy, but not really. In a way, ZU is part of an official tour. We aren't part of an official tour, but I like to see it as ZU players can actually play for something now.
I consider it semi.
Yeah, that happens.
Just basically bragging rights, but
I hope that we're now going to get good players like Finchnader, who was in Snake, or on my team, who was really enthusiastic to actually play it, so that they can maybe win a ribbon. Bogus is really active in ZU. See if he can become more active. Players like that, who are really, really good, if they can come to ZU because of that ribbon, that would be perfect
exposure. Yeah,
it would get. I personally don't get the ribbon chasing, but you know. I'm just not that competitive.
I won't win it either. I don't stand a chance. I don't play the other. But it's
my
just
issue isn't that I win it. That I can't win it. It's just that I don't care enough to put in like so much effort into a hobby, a game.
Yeah, that's fair too.
But I think we can all agree that for overall for the metagame, it's kind of just it's good for exposure in terms of like luring in like tournament players type of thing. It gives at least an incentive to
tournament players is great.
Yeah, for those people who want to collect all the trophies, all the ribbons and stuff. I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll actually happen because maybe people can just ignore the ZU tours and play the other ones and get into the championship the other way. But there will be at least some people playing ZU.
Yeah.
But
it'll also the easiest to pick up for tour players.
I would say,
likely.
Yeah.
Like we are just another lower tier, so Aaron is saying we should mention there's no best finish limit, so it doesn't matter if you join many tours, you still get all of the points. I don't know exactly how the point distribution works, so I'm not going to go very in depth. But anyway, it's an advantage to join everything and win everything. So go do that.
It's a plus type of thing. Yeah. So,
anyway, yeah, I think that is all of the big things that happened.
Mhm.
Maybe I forgot something. I don't think so, though.
No, I think overall that covers mostly everything.
That's
Yeah, right.
all of the stuff that we're allowed to talk about.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
one thing I forget. After becoming like an official other metagame, we got analysis up. I guess that's something.
Right. We should definitely mention
We
that
have
because
analyses now.
Yeah.
We have-
I'm still not going to write those because writing is anathema to everything I find fun.
we have 2 of them uploaded right now. We have Kamala and Bronzor.
Kamala and Bronzor, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
is it something else?
No, it's still
Kamala and
doing.
Bronzor. We're working on more of them, and we hope that maybe in 2 or 3 months or so we will have at least the top ranks done.
Mhm.
We don't know how fast it's going to go, but that's what we're working on. It's really important that we get those up because no matter how good sample sets are, they don't explain anything. So getting something out that actually explains why you shouldn't use Sleep Talk Last Resort Kamala is pretty nice.
Speaking of Sleep Talk Last Resort, Kamala,
No,
I still
we
make a
shouldn't
hit
speak on that.
over putting that on the thing because it's not relevant at all.
No, but I
It's
put
not
it on
good.
the thing because if you don't put it on the thing, people are going to ask about it. I put it on the thing as literally
Then
said you can
explain to
use it,
them
but it's
why
really
it's not
bad.
good. Like, if it comes up every day, just make an a room frequently asked question and broadcast it every time it comes
Because
up.
it always derails the.
People are going to be like, why is Sleep Talk Last Resort not on the Kamala analysis? Now it is. You can read about it, why it sucks. Go do that.
Yeah.
That is the logic.
So I
and this
think,
is also a logic I took from LCCNC because there were a lot of sets like that in there.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
So
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
that's,
that is everything that happened, right?
Yeah.
That's
Something
the
like
year that you and now we can talk about the actual meta if we want.
Yeah. I think in
That
terms
sucks.
I kind of started after the April shifts happened, so before then I'm not too like familiar. So if you guys want to
I
comment,
can talk about it for the most part. It's a long time ago and people were not good back then. I was one of the top players, which is already saying a lot.
Mhm.
But
I mean, I am. I mean, some people would argue I am now for some ungodly reason. Fools, all of them. I'm terrible. I'm just
mean-
playing poker with these people without cards.
I mean,
I
you're
don't
probably
know.
still like better than 75% of like the Zio players, but anyways,
the meta in January was honestly I liked the meta in January because people had quite picked up on how busted Frostom was yet.
hmm
We were talking about potentially suspecting it in the future because at least I was, because I was already realizing it stupid, but no one else agreed. So we just got Grand Ball, and I think we just lost Articuno.
yeah,
Something like that.
Wild
I wasn't
things like
around,
that.
so.
Honestly, the meta is so long though. It was really messy, and people just kind of used whatever.
yeah. Things weren't really developed. There wasn't really like a consensus of like what's good and what's bad. Things were just put together, and
Yeah,
that's why it was a
we
bit.
were.
And
We had only just decided that Frostom was in fact better than Manectric. I think that had only just been considered the case.
Yeah, that's and it comes to show. Yeah,
Which says a lot, considering we all think Frostom was busted now.
yeah.
The meta developed very slowly. We got no good drops in February, and then in March we lost Altaria and we lost
Clef and Swanna, I believe.
Clefairy.
Yeah, those
And
were
Swan.
big. Those were big, especially for
Those
defensive
three-
teams.
Yeah, that was
That
really
was a
unfortunate.
very difficult blow for Stall in particular.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we already had no unaware Pokemon, but losing our Magikarp Pokemon as well.
Wait,
was-
didn't we have Pyukumuku back then in March?
We had at that point.
Did we have Pyukumuku?
I think so, because
Yeah.
I think we lost it
I
in
remember the
July.
old teams.
Oh, right, yes. We did, my bad. We did a Pyukumuku, lost in July, and then got him back 3 months. Right, my bad,
Yeah.
my bad.
So,
Yeah.
so that was a big blow for defensive team. And I think already in March there was already talks about Musharna being kind of busted, or
Yeah, in March, basically what happened was Diagnostic and Frosty came up with this, didn't come up with, but publicized this really annoying Musharna set, which was Psyche Z with Rest, Barrier, Calm Mind, and Sword Power. And
And
basically,
that just kind of ate a few teams.
yeah, we couldn't, the meta couldn't break it. Like,
No, because
literally just could not.
there was not a lot of good dark types back then either to kind of like wall it in a sense. And
Not at
The
all.
best
So,
options were like Krokorok, Silvally, and Poniard in no particular order.
yeah, no, one of the best things to break Mashana with was Ursaring back then.
oh yeah, it's true.
But then in April, Ursaring left.
Thank
And we're
God.
like, okay, you know
Have
what?
it anymore.
Never mind.
So it got suspected.
It got
and
suspected and banned.
I
And
think-
at the same
Was it
time,
unanimously banned,
No.
or was it just like
The-
one vote off or something?
the only unanimous vote we've ever had was Zangoose, but we'll talk about that later. Mushana was banned with an overwhelming majority, and at the same time Jinx, which dropped from
Oh, that
from
was
PU.
fun. And that was kind of, I want to talk about that. That Mon was, I think at the time, was like A rank or A minus in PU, and to see it drop was,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like a joke now where like PU gives us all its like high ranks and stuff, and it, anyways.
Yeah, PU ladder's
I
terrible.
want to just quickly mention that every single major shift this year, PU has given us one or more Pokemon that were A minus or higher.
Imagine.
Every single
Well,
time.
Did we get one this time? Because Swanna was an A minus at that point, if I remember correctly.
Yes, Swanna was.
Yeah, it was.
Swanna was A
Oh,
minus
was it?
when it dropped.
I know it's
Um,
dropped.
And I think even Altaria or something. I don't know.
I don't know about Altera, but anyway, like, we got Jinx, and we just immediately said, yeah, no, Jinx is fucking busted.
That Mon was so fun to use, but I felt so bad each time using it. Especially the Z Lovely Kiss set was so nasty.
Yeah, you just use Z Lovely Kiss, Nasty Plot, and Double Stab, or you could slot in Z.
Or
Shovel.
Legit,
Put it properly and
everyone
just
was
ice
running Sleep Talk Bronzor at that point because it was so annoying. Even then, it was like
Yeah,
if you didn't get your
but-
good Sleep Talk rolls, it was.
I ran Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball, Psychic, and Ice Beam with Ghost TMZ,
Wow.
which meant that if people switched in their Bronzor, it just died.
Yeah, and
I
Bronzor
didn't
was like
play
the only
most of
answer
it.
to it.
Haha.
So.
It was so stupid, dude. And it was gone very quickly. You gave the week, and that was just gone.
Thank God.
Yeah, I didn't play in those 2 days because I didn't feel like it.
And I think April was also around the time when Froston became getting really popular.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it was when
When
first...
when people were starting to explore more sets instead of always slapping on
Yeah.
Scarf.
Seriously,
I see
Scarf is
the-
terrible. I don't know how people just use Scarf for that long. There was a point where some people legitimately thought Sub Split was an unset, even though
Oh my God.
even though since then it proved to be like top two sets.
Nothing on
Easily.
Froston was an unset. Like, actually.
But I think at that point people started developing.
I'm certain I can think of one, Xayah. Let me just see if
Literally
this thing
nothing.
gets Mud Slap and run Groundium on it.
As long as it has Thunderbolt and
Blizzard.
Blizzard, it is good.
The other two slots are really filler. But I think at that point people started exploring Z moves on it, which were really nasty. Especially like
Yeah.
with Plane Spit and Z move were really good at that point. And even people used to run it on. I remember back in the day with Rain used to be really common and was a bit annoying. But with we'll talk about with what's it called, Liepard, which we lost in July.
Oh yeah, Liepard. Was Liepard?
I miss
dropped in
Liepard. I don't know why.
Was it
I don't have
April? No, I think it was July. No.
No, April shifts were massive because that's when we got Liepard, Lycanroc, and we lost Stoutland and Ursaring.
Oh, that's it.
And we got Jinx. Those shifts were wild. That was a
Yeah.
Lycanroc meta.
Oh, Lycanroc was fun. I actually
forgot
liked
about
that
that.
one. It was.
I liked them on a lot. I don't think it was broken at all.
Me
It-
neither.
It had a Torterra, 100% reliable counter,
Oh.
which was
Oh yeah, we
fine.
had Poliwrath at that point still, right?
Yeah, we
I always
also still had Polygraph.
Mm-hmm.
I always used Fat Poliwrath. I don't care how broken it is on Rain. It's the best
yeah.
Rain check at the time. So
Fast Polygraph was good.
I
yes.
loved using circle throw plus spikes. That was pretty nasty too.
oh, I loved that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, Lycanroc just abused its signature Z move.
Mm-hmm.
And
Offense had a hard time with it due to its priority, and it was really good. But there were answers
it was
too.
really good. Our answers were Polygraph and Torterra.
Basically,
and,
yeah.
Torterra was good, really good too.
And Bronzor
Torterra
to an
was
extent.
good. If Lycan wasn't in the meta, it would probably not be as ridiculously common as it was.
I wanna disagree. The Double Dance Z-move set was still pretty good as well.
Yeah, Torterra was also just
It
really
was-
good on its own.
Torterra was my favorite mon of 2018. If there was a mon I used the most, it was like I was on 90% of my teams back then. It was a really good mon. I miss it a lot.
And of course, in June we had the Rotom Frost.
I would say the most controversial Zeo suspect until now.
It was definitely the most controversial suspect. It stayed in the tier, and it came
It
down
stayed
to
in-
It
final
was
It
so
word.
close, yeah.
And then the shifts after completely, we lost all of our checks to the Pokemon that
Yeah.
weren't.
So it became very good to
seeking.
absolutely busted at that point.
But that's
And
that's suspect.
and then everything went to the
haunts me
store.
to this day, because I was the only person. No, me and Durza, I think, were the only people on council who wanted it gone. And there were 2 people out of the non-council voters who wanted it to stay. So there was such a massive division between the council and the rest of the community with what they wanted
Speaking
to
of
do.
the
with
non-council, speaking of the non-council voters, one of them hasn't played the tier since.
Frostdawn. Yeah,
And
Yeah,
he
that's-
barely played before the thing, too.
that suspect was really
It's-
really bad.
I think the idea back then was like people were like, oh, it could just run.
He was the last vote. He
Yeah.
ruined everything.
He ruined. Yeah, it came down to it was 50-50, and he had to decide whether to stay or not, and he voted to stay. And whatever, right? That's what he wanted back then. Then shifts happened, and we lost Rotera, we lost Lycanroc, we got Kabutops, we got Ursaring.
We lost
which
Liepard
both of which
too.
were immediately gone.
I think we lost
Good riddance.
Pyukumuku, we lost Liepard,
We lost Pyukumuku, we lost Liepard. We lost so much.
and
those
that was, I
shifts.
think, July was like the death of Stall at that point because Pyukumuku kind of like
Yeah, Stall
Stall
was
completely died.
You never saw it.
There was no way to revive it.
no.
Absolutely not.
And then we was that when we got Zangoose and everything, right? Oh no, Ursaring and
No,
Kabuto.
Zangoose is October.
Yeah.
Ursaring-
Ursaring and Kabutops, yeah. That was like for a week. That meta was actually pretty fun. Ursaring under
Yeah,
Trick
that meta was fun for like a week when
Yeah.
we still had Ursa.
Yeah,
And then
Oh,
Ursa
yeah,
left, and I didn't
Ursa.
like it anymore.
no. I think the
Ursa-
problem was Ursaring under Trick Room and Kabutops under Rain kind of were just too ridiculous.
But Ursa had been getting talk within the council of a suspect before it dropped, and then when it actually did, the meta was so kind to it, so he said no.
No, it was too much.
No, in the end, in hindsight, I think it was Frostom, because Frostom just gives it such a free switch in every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Ursaring was also busted,
Mhm.
honestly. Like, it does so much damage. If you see Komala now, what it does, Ursaring did that, but on steroids.
Times
Like,
2, yeah, basically.
Trick Room was viable because of Ursa Ring.
Mhm.
Now
Yeah.
it's matchup.
Trick Room is still viable.
But now it's not as free winning as it was.
Where you had a mon
yeah,
that
that-
could just want to KO anything, basically.
That meta was probably the worst meta
Mm.
we ever had.
Yeah, and even with Kabutops, even outside of Rain, it was really good. SD with Z move would like just destroyed everything, and yeah. I think Kabutops left.
This is
wait.
really weird, but Durza has apparently been talking, and I haven't heard.
Turn
a
on your
word.
mic, nerd!
Because I saw his Discord thing going on this whole time, but I was like, okay, maybe he's just like.
No, it
Yes,
hasn't been going on for me. Like, his mic is just off.
No, I saw it go on too.
No, it hasn't been for me. Like,
Anyway.
everyone else's has.
Anyway, let's keep talking. No one liked that. In September we got Stoudon, suspected, and it got banned. That was a really, really rushed suspect because we had a ladder in September, but we weren't gonna have one in October.
And it was only.
So we had to rush it out to make sure the suspect was done by the time the ladder left.
hmm And even after it's banned, I saw a lot of people kind of discussing, was it really broken? And I think for the most part we can all agree that it was better that it left. But I think then, I think due to the speed of everything and how everything was kind of just done so fast, it was a bit another controversial suspect, but not as much as
I agree.
Frostmoon.
It could have been done better, but in the end, I think the decision was probably correct.
Yeah.
I don't think it could have been done better. As I was cheerleader back then, I think the way we did it, the best we possibly could have, but it was definitely not good.
Sorry.
Have you tried turning on your mic, Durza?
But I'm glad it left with like an 80% majority, so I
Yeah.
feel like it was pretty convincing.
Yeah.
There was a lot wrong with the suspect, I agree, and we'll definitely work on fixing that in the future.
But now I think the situation has fixed itself ever since we got a perma ladder.
Yeah,
I think that was the
we
main
also
point.
Rex were also too difficult.
Yeah.
That was something that came up.
Mhm.
But okay, anyway,
Got Rex.
that meta ended, and that was the moment that I think ZU went from a decently fun meta that you could play every so often to an amazing meta. Not only because we got Kamala, but because we lost.
Do I smell bias? I smell bias.
Yes, but no, losing Frostom was the best thing that could have happened to us because it frees up everything. It's
try messing with your settings, but
Okay, now he's gonna make all these noises in the video.
I was gonna get to it, Durza. Come on, isn't relevant yet.
Okay.
Frostom leaving. We lost Frostom when we got Pyukumuku back, which meant Stall was back.
And I was happy because Stall's my favorite playstyle, so yeah, it was kind of. And also we got Altaria, which helped.
And then the rise of Regigigas came around.
Oh god, I hate that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think Regigigas is, but Durza's gonna hate me for it. Because Regigigas right now there are, or well, I should look at it differently. Regigigas is overrated by a few people. There's a few people who think Regigigas is god and it destroys teams completely, but really it just beats down Stall.
I think that's it. It's only really good
certain
versus
teams completely. Like
it
does fuck up balance.
It struggles against other archetypes.
I think it
has a
destroys
matchup against
balance, my dude.
It doesn't destroy balance.
I think it fucks up. No, it only fucks up balance teams that rely.
A fatter variant of balance because they just can't break them on.
It relies on balance.
Yes, they can.
It fucks up balance teams that rely on Gorgios Super as its answer because you could just outspeed it and sub. But I think balance teams that have mons that can outpace it and get it before it could sub up and do its shenanigans.
I mean, it doesn't get enough opportunities to set up its sub and do its thing in balance. In my opinion,
it definitely does. But yeah,
I mean, at least not against the teams that I, which may lead more towards balance, I guess. But I have never had trouble with the Regigigas.
I only have trouble when I'm using Stall, really, and now I'm starting to run a Diagnostic Stall, which has uses Gorgias Large just for that. But anyways, yeah.
Is Durza free?
No, Durza can't talk.
No,
whatever.
Still.
He only has random shit to
Durza
say.
is free! He's free!
No. Anyways.
I still don't hear him.
Me neither.
Wait, you can't hear me?
Oh.
Really?
Oh yes,
Hi, Durza. Wait, were you actually talking this whole time?
Yes, I was.
But you didn't pick up. You didn't pick up
Anyway,
whether we weren't addressing you. Maybe?
I was like, why do they keep ignoring me? And I didn't want to say something because it's a video.
Anyway,
Okay.
I don't know how appropriate talking about Regigigas in a year review is because I don't.
I mean,
notable as a
it did shoot up on the VR.
It is definitely worth mentioning at the very least.
It's not a metagame staple.
Okay, but
no matter what you say, it's not a metagame staple.
I think it's a contestant for a mon who shot up the VR like the most, I would say, besides Marini. Like Marini kind of like.
No. Hakamo. I think Hakamo had the single biggest shift in one go.
It was
welcome. You are very welcome for that.
It went from what? It went from unranked.
It went from unranked to like B+. It was hilarious. I didn't even make a nom. It just kind of got put there.
Wait, is it still in B+?
I think it's B-.
No, it's lower.
Okay,
I think it's B- right now, but like.
But still. Wow.
But
can we talk about Tangela and Oricorio during the snake meta?
Yeah, we should talk about that. Okay, wait. Amon, we forgot to talk about is Lorantis. We forgot to talk about Lorantis.
Right.
We didn't mention Lorantis
at all, which is like so disappointing.
No.
Okay, Lorantis was being it was Amon at the beginning of the year, which was not used a lot, and people consider actually Servine better than Lorantis for the most part. But then probably
not anymore.
I just thought they both sucked.
But
Special Lorantis is bad.
Yeah.
For the record, Special Lorantis is not.
It's because it got
superpower. Yeah.
And I mean, it had that for
and I think
superpower is what made
whole
it.
year.
But was it Ultra Sun and Moon?
It wasn't until people
Ultra Sun and Moon got new moves.
But that's over a year ago. That was in 2017. It has had superpower the whole year.
Right.
The thing is, no one ran Lorantis, so no one noticed it was good.
And I think the problem was...
It would be so good in this meta too.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be... No, actually, Actually, though, Gorgeist walls the fuck out of it.
True.
No, it boosts.
No,
Well,
it
depends
doesn't.
what it uses as
You
its
You do not
coverage.
wall Leaf Storm from that.
Do you not just outstall that?
No, you don't.
I don't think.
No,
Well,
it Leaf Storms you when you die.
on a 1v1, I don't think so. No, actually.
Hmm.
But anyways, I think I was
I mean,
right
still,
before Snake started. That's when really we saw the rise. And
We also have Altaria. I think between Altaria and Gorgeist, I don't think it would have been before.
That's true. Especially if Altaria runs Haze and stuff, but usually doesn't.
You'd run Haze in the Lurantis meta.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. But anyways.
I'd run Haze in this meta. Bulk Up Kamala is scary.
Oh my god, Crystal. Yeah, that thing is
Bulk
so
Up
annoying.
has been-
But
Okay, yeah.
But I think, okay, let's
As I
talk
said,
about things
we also-
periodically. So, okay, in the Lurantis meta, it was used a lot. So then we saw Rise in Oricorio Bile specifically to counter that.
yeah.
I think it was
Right.
the most common Scarf.
I think I think. Did people really run Scarf Veil? I've never
Yes,
run it.
Xayah did.
ever.
Yeah,
I did
people
a lot.
did.
I ran it all the time, dude.
Yeah.
Scarf Bill is so good.
It was used all the
Quantum
time.
Tesseract.
I always used like LO3 attacks Roost.
So
That-
Quantum Tesseract and I were popularizing the Spec set.
Yeah,
since
Specs is
Open.
used to, and I think Calm Mind Z move too was used in the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
That was good too.
spammed Scarf Bill. Like,
Yeah, I remember you telling me that during Snake.
did I?
Yeah.
Did I tell you that after Snake?
I
Or
thought
during
it was
Snake?
during
I
Snake.
don't
they were-
remember. I know I told you, like, maybe it was after the game between our two teams where I said, like, yeah, I
No,
have
it
this
was when-
Bill, and I don't think anyone
It's
noticed.
the game where Finch got lucked by like season.
No,
they
no,
had, like,
Kushalas got locked. Finch was the one that locked.
No. It wasn't me. It was when your team got lucked by like season when they had like the mirror matchup. But he had the Seeking.
Yeah,
Oh, Sea
where
King.
our matchup was, where like the one mon just made our matchup horrible.
Yeah.
That
And Finch got lucked. But
Yeah.
it was that standard like Rotom, Lurantis, Oricorio thing that just took over the meta.
Oh, everyone was.
Like,
Yeah.
It was like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Frostum again, dude. Frostum pops up at these things all the fucking time. I hate Frostum.
I
It's
think
such a
back
glue.
then when
So-
Frostrum was there, like I think Volturn was like used so much, and it would kind of define the meta for a bit, especially with Bile.
But I mean, you can say it was Voltron, but you can just say it's Frostum and Silvally because both of them every team.
True,
Yeah.
true.
Speaking of, I need to test with Veil again because I still think that thing looks very
I
nice.
haven't
right
used
now.
it in forever.
I think it's a
should
bit
use it.
hard with Golem and Golem
Swanna.
Alola being used a lot now, especially.
Yeah, Swanna, the Golems, Altaria. Just such a
Yeah.
pain.
Yeah. But
Anyway,
yeah.
we are the meta right now. We talked about this before. October meta. Bio Kamala is coming up, being used a lot more now.
Oh, we could also talk when Rotom left. Scarf Evire is used all the time. It's considered the cheese mom. It's like when you're missing a slot, put on a Scarf Evire and you're good.
it does exactly what Frostum. That it's not broken.
But I think it's being used so much that like I don't even like using it anymore. I just feel like Gorgai Super kind of clock blocks it unless it's really low, and I don't
Are you
know.
not running Flamethrower?
What? Flamethrower eats? What?
No, but
Where's
I guess
Flamethrower?
okay. I'm still probably using Earthquake and Ice Punch, but for Altaria.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Use
Without
all of them.
Flamethrower? Oh.
you
Yeah,
don't.
of course
you don't need stab. You don't need non-volt switch stab on Scarf Vire.
No, exactly. And without Flamethrower, you can't revenge kill Leafeon either.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're coming
Yeah.
to
Are you still revenging Floatzel at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can KO Floatzel at all times with Floatzel.
Oh.
Okay, Durza's gone again. Now we can have fun.
Anyways, but in general, okay, Scarf Evire was a mon that kind of shot up in popularity.
Yeah, and I think honestly, Bulk Up Kamala might sort of be a response to that.
Yeah,
Because
I think Bulk Up Kamala is the best set right now.
it is. Yeah.
Honestly, it is so good.
Kamala sets have been rotating the whole time, dude. At first it was banned, objectively just the best.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Then you saw Wish
better.
Wish Tech on stall.
Easy to prep for.
And then Wish Tech Spin, and then Wish Tech Poke Up, which is really good now.
Even Swords Dance Z move was used
I think
again. Or bulk up Z move.
I want to see SDZ move again.
Yeah.
Like, I
SDC
think
move is not good outside of stall meta. We should talk about stall, by the way, because stall, when Pyukamuku just dropped again, everyone's like, dude, stall was fucking broken. And then we spent a bit in this meta, and we were like, never mind. Stall is not good at all. Never mind.
Well, I wouldn't say it's not good. It's still okay to use. You can still use it, but yeah, bulk up Kamala kind of just is annoying for it.
Every single Kamala set tears apart stall, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
Except for
and tears it apart.
Except for
Wish-Tech Spin doesn't tear it apart, but it's very annoying for it.
It's just not being able
Stall is never killing it.
Because I think in ZU, especially, stall relies on status a lot compared to other like stall variations in other tiers, and I think with just having Comella here is just so annoying for it.
The thing about Wish-Tech Spin is what it does is that it runs knockoff as well. So basically, it comes in, it sits there for 200 turns because that's a stupid amount of PP. It can't die against stall because stall has nothing to kill it. It removes the rocks every time. It beats Gorgeist 1-on-1 because it has knockoff.
But I see a lot of stalls now considering Silvally fighting again just for Kamala. Like,
yeah, I can imagine with bulk up Kamala being on the rise. I don't build stall ever, but yeah.
Yeah.
I've built it before, but I don't think it's...
And in terms of in terms of other playstyles too, one I want to talk about maybe a bit. I don't know if it's used much now, but I remember in the summer it was used a lot with screens and just HO in general.
Dude, there's
screens is still around, and it's still annoying.
It is, yeah.
For a lot of...
Especially spam screens, and it's annoying as shit.
It
I
is,
hate the
yeah. Because you have mons like
Literally,
Buskin, and you have Ponyard to kind of block defog, and it's just that we have a lot of setup sweepers that kind of abuse it.
If I challenge someone to test the tour game and they bring screens, I just because I don't feel like playing the matchup. I hate the matchup so much.
Yeah, it's hard.
So basically, secret hint, if you want to beat me in tours, just bring screens. I lose to it. I don't care about playing it.
Thank you. Speaking of, bring stall against me in tours. I lose to it, I swear. I won't 6-0 you, I swear. It's not like it's my best matchup or anything.
Anyway, I think we have talked about most of the things we want to talk about, right?
And well, we could mention a bit with the tournament. Well, I think we kind of glanced over the tournaments too. I mean, what's coming?
Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. How about we all pick a mod that was the most important this year for ZU, and then talk.
Can we talk about banned mons too, or just ones that are currently here?
Just pick a mon that you consider the most. Yeah, like your mon.
For me, it's a tie.
I can start if you want. Then I'll just explain mine.
It's a tie between Rotom Frost and Komala for me, probably.
Yeah, I have to give it to Rotom Frost.
Yeah.
Frost was the most efficient of the entire year, but if we're gonna go for like current meta stuff, it's probably like Swanna or Pinsir for me.
No, really.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think
Swanna is the best Pokemon in the meta right now.
That's
really interesting. Yeah.
Let's hear it. Okay, how in a meta where Scarfire is on 90% of teams is Swanna the best mon?
I mean, I think it's
I'm just curious, you know?
Have fun revenging Z Rain Dance. Have fun revenging Scarf. Good job. You just lost your Evire nerd.
Z Rain Dance can't OHKO Evire, so it can actually revenge.
After Rocks, I'm pretty sure it can.
I'm pretty sure it can.
I could be entirely wrong on this.
But I'm fairly certain it can.
Under Rain...
Yeah, not even close, dude.
Even
with Surf. Like, there you go. You're not killing it. It's not enough.
But still, I mean, it's a good mon, but yeah, with just the abundance of...
Evire is everywhere. That's the problem.
And I want people to, like, I'm still a fan of, like, Life Orb Evire. I think it's a pretty, like, underrated set. I mean, I know...
I think Expert Belt is better because you do not like getting a Evire.
That's true, yeah, I agree.
Suddenly start losing to Swanna and such.
Yeah, to...
Where normally...
To be able to lure with E-Belt too.
Also, love Scarf with Evire, with E-Belt very nicely. It's just the best. It's just the least risk overall.
It's such a... Like,
I like Life Orb because Wild Charge fucking nukes things.
But you die so fast, though.
You die so fast, but Wild Charge absolutely destroys things.
I want to talk
if you take a look at, like, physically defensive Bronzor gets, like, 3-hit KO'd by Adamant Wild the Life Orb Wild Charge.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's silly. But, you know, that's a bad set, so fight me.
Yes.
And wait, another one I want to talk about that was kind of hyped up after the October shifts was Floatzel, and that kind of dropped off recently, I think.
Oh, poor
Recently, it was always worse than Swanna.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think at the beginning. I can't say at the beginning.
I think in the beginning it was better than Swanna because Stall was getting really hyped and Swanna cannot really beat Stall and Floatzel can thanks to Taunt.
Yeah.
Rain Dance beats Stall though. Yes.
Now when you Altaria kind of.
I don't think you have enough rain turns.
Altaria kind of blocks you.
Anyway, Floatzel was getting a lot of hype because it was fast and it was pretty strong and it was versatile. But it's just not very good.
It's because
how are you gonna put it on your team? That's the biggest problem.
There's that, and I think after
with Swanna, you can sometimes just drop it on your team because I need a late game free bird. Floatzel doesn't really do anything like that. It's not a revenge killer. It's not really a good breaker. There are better ones out there.
I think the problem
it's just a mon that heavily pressures the opponent, which is cool, but it doesn't fulfill a specific role. So it's really hard to put in your team.
I think the thing that put the nail in the coffin for him was
it's just hard to justify over anything else, even on hyper offense. Because there are better options to get through Stall that you could use on hyper offense. NP Raichu.
Oh, that's a good mon.
That's a good mon. Yes, I like it.
But I think also, like, because when Floatzel was kind of just released, you still saw people using Savali Water, but at that time there was still a lot of hype for Savali fighting. But as soon as it dropped, like, the surge of Savali Water just kind of popped up again, and that's like a really hard counter to it. Even Gourgeist Super.
And I mean, Gourgeist XL is everywhere.
Yeah, even
Gourgeist Super is everywhere, and it just says no to any physical.
And when you have to allocate the slot for Z Ice Punch, it kind of sucks too, because you're not even OKOing it at +1, so it's pretty.
You have to run if you want to run physical. You have to be mixed.
Can't do
it.
Yeah.
And then if you have Z Blizzard, you're suddenly very, very limited on what you can do because you lost your coverage.
Yeah, it's just a mon that it can do a lot, but it wants to do everything. Like, it can't just rely on one moveset to kind of do all it wants. Like, it has a hard time. Like you guys said, just
basically, if you put all of Floatzel's movesets together, you have an amazing Pokemon. But any one of its movesets is just not very good. And because you can only run one moveset at a time, it's just not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Free Species Clause.
No.
Undo it. Let me run 5 Floatzels and ruin every team
6
ever.
different Savalis, it will be so fun.
Remember the time I brought 6 Kamalas in Anything Goes?
Oh, that was fun.
No, I did not see that replay. Funbot, record that replay real quick.
I should.
That was a
Maybe
good
next
replay. I almost got a KO.
Versus all the Mega Rays. But anyways, okay, so I think we've kind of touched on everything we wanted to talk. There are the January shifts that are approaching, which is another like big tier shift that's going to happen. And there are some predicted drops and rises, but nothing's like confirmed yet because there is a possibility that we get our favorite friend Roland Frost again, but if
Roland Frost drops, I will fight.
Quick ban,
at the very least suspect it.
Yeah.
Because it is so busted.
Especially in this meta, it would be so broken, like even compared to before. Like, I don't know.
No, it'd be just as broken as last meta right after the Frost suspects. It would be like that again.
It'd be worse.
No one wants that.
It'd be stronger than that.
I would say, yeah. Because the comment...
I can think of people think it was a fun meta. I don't think... No, it wasn't fun. It was actively not fun to build for that.
No.
It was not a good
Like, it wasn't fun to build for that until I found, like, Spadef Swords Dance Licky Licky as my answer to that.
You what?
What?
I wish I was kidding.
Oh my god,
It's still better than Seeking, by the way.
Yeah,
because it actually does something.
Yeah, that's true.
Balance.
It's
my
not
god,
just...
I hate Seeking. It's my least favorite mon.
And that's something we're gonna see if Rotom comes back, which sucks too.
It was unironically used as an argument to not ban Rotom. The fact that you could use when that's a symptom of it being busted.
Which its only purpose was to check, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
if the only thing it does is answer that Pokemon, isn't that Pokemon a bit you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I said too, but no one they didn't seem to understand.
No, they just considered.
Speaking
it
of,
has
on ranked this meta, it doesn't do anything different. It doesn't add anything to your team.
No.
It checks Zebstrika, kind of.
which isn't really even.
But
Used.
who
HP
uses
Brown.
Zebstrika when Rotom Frost is a possibility? You know?
And when Eva is still used
Huh.
now.
But I
And it
also
doesn't
actually
fire.
about that. No one considered this before Rotom Frost rose, but Grumpig is the same fucking way, right? It
I mean,
used to be
Grumpig's
good.
actually, usable
You could still-
and
It
has
used to be
stab.
on every team, right? It used to be on every team, and then Rotom
And
Frost
now
left,
almost
and
no one runs it.
No one
I
ran.
haven't seen months.
Because I think it was the fault of
I think it
Silvally
wasn't even a
Dark.
checks the Pokemon. It just lost a Z Thunderbolt. And like,
Yeah,
And
But no one
Plane
used
Split was
Thunderbolt.
annoying too. And even
it lost a Pain Split
and
too.
tricking
yeah.
tricking Maggleberry used to be annoying too a lot when it couldn't recycle.
yeah. There were a lot
But you
of
know,
things.
Starfrumpig isn't the worst thing in the universe. I've run it before. It's pretty good.
It's nice to trick it, but like it's still gonna be threatening, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think we have had a really, really good year.
Yeah.
As said you,
Mhm.
I'm really happy with everything that's happened.
Mhm. From being
Um,
like no one knowing what we were to being actually considered a pretty like probably one of the most popular other metagames. It's quite a
Yeah,
lot for
we're just one of the big six now, right? As far as OMs go.
Yeah, I would say.
The big six would be
HE, Balance
anything goes,
Hawkmon,
Pokémon.
Mix and Mega.
Monotype, Stab.
No,
Mons.
Monotype's
not
not.
Stab. Dude, not Stabmons.
Oh,
it's
is,
anything
and-
goes.
is Monotype not one anymore?
No, it's
No,
official.
it's, the big six, guys. Let me. The big six are anything goes. Balance, Mix and Mega, 1v1, AA,
Triple A.
and ZU.
Yeah. And even almost an ability is like really low popularity right now anyways.
Yeah.
So I think 2019 people are saying is gonna be the year where we become official. I think we discussed
It
last
won't be.
no.
It won't be.
Straight
It's not
up.
gonna happen.
You know,
Don't hope for it, because the absolute best case, I want to point this out, the absolute best case for us to become official is in Gen 8, and if we become official in Gen 8, even if it comes out this November, it's gonna be 12 months before ZU exits beta. So no matter what happens, we won't be official until 2020.
Woo!
That is best case scenario.
but even then I think
I can't wait.
like I don't really see the like
Go ahead.
there are the perks of being official, right? You're considered like not a joke tier and everything, but I think right now what we have is pretty substantial enough. I don't think being classed as official changes anything too much per se, you know what I mean? But
It changes a few things. We can the main thing it changes is that we can then host a ZU circuit,
yeah,
which means we can play for a ribbon in just ZU,
yeah.
which is really cool.
But even then, if we become official, I
Otherwise-
don't think we're gonna be added to SPL right away type of thing either. You know what I mean?
Oh no, we won't be.
Exactly.
It won't be
Oh.
anything like that.
Isn't you not even an SPL yet?
It's
Like,
not
No,
even
it's not.
No.
yeah.
So-
Anyway,
um,
2019 is going to be another great year. It might not be as ridiculous as this year, but it's still going to be really, really cool.
I think it will be
I
until
don't know.
the new games are released, and then probably activity is gonna die down, obviously, until we get even to our alpha or beta stage. But until then, I
We'll
think
have a
Yeah.
pre-alpha stage. I'll be working at the very. I'll make sure that the council works on a pre-alpha
Mm.
that we can use.
so. I think it.
Like just a list of mods that we expect to be in ZU.
Yeah, I think that's what PU did.
so we can like test and stuff.
Yeah, after what happened this
Yeah.
this gen with PU, I think we could do something like that too.
Yeah.
So
I am the and for drops I just want Silvally Ghost. I have been wanting Silvally Ghost forever, and it might actually drop now. So
what's the other? Are those the only two considerable drops right now? Like
those are the most likely.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Rotom Frost and Silvally Ghost. One of them really fun.
And the other one's Rotom Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of rises, we said it was Carbink, Saucebuck, and something else.
Kecleon and
Saucebuck.
Combusken.
Yeah.
Honestly, none of those matter.
Combusken.
None of those really matter.
Those are so
Combusken a
surprising.
little bit. Maybe, but Kecleon isn't
Oh.
used because we have Komala.
Yeah.
And
I guess-
Combusken. No one uses Carbink anyway, because what the fuck does a Carbink
Why
do?
is it even used? It's
Trick Room.
It makes Trick Room. Yeah, it
No,
makes
but
the
I
Trick
think
Room play so
Saucebucks
easy.
is the most like what the fuck type of one, because no one uses it in our meta, and so like PO using it is just baffling to me. But
Yeah, and then the last one.
PU, it's on the rise in stall at the moment because it's a good check Dodrio, in particular.
Ah,
Um,
okay,
that's Salzbuck. I mean, Soulspark is a little sad because it's been on the rise
Soulspark's
recently.
just because of one guy on ladder or something like that.
If Soulspark does rise, then whatever. We'll just start using Leafeon again.
Well, Leafeon's already being used, like especially now. Before it dropped off a bit, but now with even Z Celebrate and stuff, it's pretty good.
That's because what I did. I made it a good again.
Exactly, yeah.
I just forcibly made it good again.
Yeah. But anyways, okay, I think we
Anyway,
we rambled long enough, so we could do another video discussing...
I can do another hour and a half of rambling myself. I've got that
We'll
time.
save, yeah. But then we're gonna have like a full documentary now, which we don't need, but...
Oh yeah, I'll give you a full documentary of bad opinions that Tack has.
Alright. Why don't you start your YouTube channel and we'll all subscribe to that.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Challenge accepted.
My terrible mind, yes, I believe that's a wonderful idea.
But, so maybe we'll do another video after...
I'll ladder one day, and then just start raging on cam, and then never upload it, ever, because I hate ladder.
That would be funny. No, yeah, you should do your own lives and stuff. We'll have Tack's opinion corner.
Oh boy.
But anyways...
And now I can... And now I can put comments on VR slates. This is gonna be a great time.
Okay, but anyways, so we'll do another video after the January drops are official, and we'll discuss that then. So anyways, thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you next time.
See you, nerds.
Bye.